Hello and welcome to Punk Science TV. So I'm Dr. Manjir, and this time we are talking about spirals on Mars. So I don't mean spiders on Mars, but spirals on Mars. So let's take a look. Now this is quite a recent topic because just in the past few weeks, scientists have said that they are seeing ultraviolet pulses of light on Mars itself. They happen at certain times of the day, they're not continuous, and are different according to the seasons on Mars. Now, they seem to have decided what the chemical reasons are for these pulses, but at the south pole of Mars, you actually see this beautiful spiral of ultraviolet light. So the scientists are saying that they can't explain why these pulses are occurring in a spiral pattern. So that's very interesting. But it's not the first time that we've seen spirals on Mars. So for some years we've known that at the north pole of Mars you also see these spirals that actually occur in the ice, and they have been put down to things like the wind and the interaction of the wind with the rotation of Mars and that sort of thing. And you can see that scientists get into sort of increasingly complicated explanations. But is there something much more simple that we can look at as to why Mars has these spiral patterns that have appeared both at the South Pole in light and in the North Pole in the pattern of the ice that forms there? And you probably know that spirals are just so ubiquitous in the universe, and we see these beautiful spirals in galaxies, and we see them in our weather patterns as well. We see them also in things like plants, and in shells, and all over the universe really, and even in our own bodies. So is there something that is more fundamental that explains why Mars is showing these spiral patterns? Well, if you know about the black hole principle, you know that the fundamental pattern is that light comes from infinity and it spirals around to the edge of our reality, which is at the perception horizon, and combines, splits into matter and antimatter, and combines into light, and that's happening at every single level of the universe. And so if we see that again, you've got that spiral of light, and that is what is creating our universe at every single level. So we would expect to see spirals of light happening at every single level of the universe. And if we see it around black holes, we often see them as bipolar jets. So jets that are at right angles to the what's known as the accretion disk. It's actually really the creation disk of a black hole, but it's called the accretion disk as in things are falling in the black hole, because that's what the mainstream scientists still think. So when you realise that this pattern is going on at every single level, you can look back to the kind of polar patterns around Mars, around the Earth. On the Earth we call them aurora borealis and australis, and you can see that these are again a kind of jet that's coming out in a spiral pattern, just like a galactic black hole. Now the main point is that it's Mars itself that is creating these patterns from within, and according to the underlying geometry of each planet is according to it results in the way that it expresses the black hole principle. So each level is going to be slightly different depending on its circumstances in the way that it expresses it, but it's the same underlying pattern. So I hope that clears up what spirals on Mars are all about. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon on Punk Science TV. Thank you.